Crestwood University was thick with a typical American cocktail of emotions, fervor and hostility mixed together. On the campus lawn, nearly 3,000 supporters had gathered for the public rally of Senator James Rourke. Beyond the barricades, hundreds of protesters chanted slogans, their signs brightly lit beneath the damp October sky. For Agent Marcus M. Vance, the clamor was just background noise. He was trained to catch something sharper, the dissonant notes of a threat disguised as a logistics officer. Marcus moved with calculated anonymity, pushing a cart full of empty water crates. Taped to his skin beneath his shirt was a Sig Sauer P226. The earpiece of his sub-Malcolm's unit barely itched. He wasn't there for refreshments. He was a CIA Special Operations officer, tasked with monitoring a vague but credible threat. A domestic extremist had whispered of a spectacular event designed to wake the masses. Senator Rourke's name had surfaced repeatedly. Eyes open, Vance. Your janitor Echo cover is threadbare. Find the anomaly before he decides to redecorate the room. Marcus scanned rooftops, balconies, and floodlight towers, mentally cross-referencing the security schematics burned into his memory. The crowd swayed. Police looked for obvious fights, but Marcus looked for the flash before the thunder. At Oak Hall, unease sharpened into certainty. The schematics showed 2 guards at the rooftop access point, but no one was there. Worse, the camera aimed at the service door blinked out for 5 precise seconds. Then the light returned. A deliberate trick. Abandoning the cart, Marcus slipped into the building's shadow. His eyes raced along the rooftop line. Then he saw him, a silhouette moving away from a ventilation duct, a long duffel bag slung across his back. A cold dread squeezed his chest. Armed subject on the Oak Hall roof, northeast corner. Marcus hissed into his mic, only static answered. Electromagnetic chaos had choked his lifeline. He was alone. He sprinted toward the maintenance staircase in the alley, cleaving through the edge of the crowd. He vaulted a barricade, urgency overcoming caution. That's when a voice boomed, "Hey, freeze right there." Lieutenant David Sterling, broad-shouldered and radiating authority, lunged at him. Marcus knew the type, impatient, aggressive, convinced his gut was infallible. To Sterling, Marcus was not a covert operative chasing a sniper. He was just a dark-skinned man in dark clothes running in a restricted zone. A suspect. Sterling hit him like a linebacker, slamming him to the ground. Pain shot through Marcus's shoulder. A knee ground into his back, twisting his arms violently. "No, listen. Oak Hall roof. Rifle." Marcus gasped. Sterling crushed his weight down even harder. "Nice try. You're not going anywhere." 2 patrol officers shackled his ankles. Marcus yelled, his voice ragged with desperation. "Sniper! Look up! For God's sake, look up!" Immobilized, he could only watch the roof. The shooter rose, his scope glinting in the fading light. Time slowed, thick as molasses. Then came the shot. The sharp crack tore across the campus. For an instant, an unreal silence fell. On the stage, Senator Rourke's head snapped back. A dark halo spread on his neck. He staggered, then collapsed. The crowd screamed. Panic exploded. Sterling looked up, horror dawning on his face. Too late. His fixation on the wrong man had doomed the senator. Then, calculation replaced panic. His career, his reputation, already shattered. Unless he found someone to blame, he grabbed Marcus brutally. "We got him. He's the accomplice," he yelled, shoving him toward the other officers. Marcus's stomach clenched. From the roof, he glimpsed the real assassin making his escape, disappearing into the shadows, while he was branded the culprit, the viral crack and the unmasking. At the precinct, the booking process stripped Marcus of everything. In his pockets, a fake ID, a lock-picking set, a burner phone, and his short-range comms device. To the police, it was damning proof of a terrorist. "What's this for, huh? Calling your pal on the roof?" A sergeant sneered. Marcus remained silent. CIA training demanded it. Deny, deflect, disappear. No cover compromised, no agency link revealed. He was a ghost, and ghosts have no allies. But cracks soon appeared. That night, a video emerged from a shaky livestream by a student named Finn. His cell phone had captured a fleeting image, a man descending the Oak Hall fire escape, shrugging off a tactical vest to reveal a gray hoodie. The footage was grainy, chaotic, but enough to spark a firestorm on Twitter and Reddit. The video went viral. Users zoomed in on frames, debating every detail. The hashtag man on the ladder quickly spread. The figure was not Marcus, too thin, too pale, too agile. Proof that someone else had been there. That FBI Special Agent Hayes watched the video on a loop, his brow deepening. The suspect in custody didn't match. Meanwhile, alarms rang at CIA headquarters. One of their top operators had gone dark right before an assassination. They couldn't save him openly, but they could give the FBI a nudge. An anonymous digital tip landed on Hayes' desk. A name, Leonard Leo Cross, a dishonorably discharged military marksman with ties to extremist groups. Last known address 30 miles from Crestwood University. Marcus, still locked up, had no idea a storm was brewing outside the precinct. Officer Jessica Chun couldn't shake Marcus's desperate cry. "There's a man on the roof with a rifle." She re-examined the CSCOM's device and realized it wasn't for detonating bombs. It was a short-range, encrypted audio receiver. Surveillance gear, not a terrorist tool. Her heart hammered. Marcus hadn't lied that night. Chun brought her findings to Agent Hayes. Lieutenant Sterling said Vance was creating a diversion, she admitted. But what if he was telling the truth? Hours later, before dawn, an FBI SWAT team raided Leo Cross's apartment. They found tactical gear, propaganda, a marked map of the Crestwood campus, and, beneath the floorboards, Remington 700 rifle. Ballistics matched the weapon used to kill Senator Rourke. The case against Marcus collapsed. Justice and the unseen wound. At the precinct, Hayes, flanked by agents and Marcus's CIA handler, Echo, confronted Lieutenant Sterling. "Your suspect sat in a cell while we arrested the real assassin an hour ago," Hayes said, his voice cold, dropping Cross's confession and crime scene photos on the desk. Sterling stammered, But he was running. He had the gear." "Surveillance gear," Hayes shot back dryly. He was running towards a threat. Officer Chun and others heard him giving a warning. He was trying to do his duty. Or, more likely, you saw a black man running, judged him guilty, and framed him to cover yourself. Echo cut in, his voice razor-sharp. The word federal agent hung in the air, revealing Marcus's true identity. "Your prejudice cost a life." Sterling slumped, broken down a short time later. Hayes and Echo opened Marcus's cell. "You're free to go, Mr. Vance," Hayes said. Marcus looked at Chun, nodding his gratitude. Walking silently past the officers, he saw Sterling being cuffed, bitterness etched into his face. Outside, Marcus paused. If only they had listened from the start, perhaps all this could have been avoided. He left feeling weary, not triumphant. In the following weeks, Sterling was fired, indicted, and exposed for years of racial profiling, becoming a national symbol of law enforcement failure. Cross was convicted and sentenced to life without parole. Marcus returned quietly to the CIA, his name cleared, but the experience had marked him. He had faced enemies overseas, but here, prejudice had silenced him at the cost of lives. The wound was invisible, a reminder. Sometimes, the most serious threats don't come from foreign adversaries, but from the blind judgments of a system that is supposed to protect.